this is something that, as a loan officer, we're always training because there's always new stuff, and most of us are trying to be better and do more and, understand guidelines and things. And we heard about this new appraisal process coming out, and then we start training on it. And, I've gone through a couple of hour-long trainings, and I'm just kind of like, okay, so really, what is the real deal? How soon is this going to be a standardization? When we get into the talk, you're going to go into more detail about what that new model looks like. And for the viewers out there, it says the GSE desktop. And basically what that means is government-sponsored enterprise are Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, the people that oversee the guidelines for loans. Federal home loan banks, I think, too, falls in that category. So when you see this GSE slide, that just means this is a new process for appraisers and lenders to assign values to homes. So you guys feel free to talk about this and just tell me when to hit the slide button.
Sure. So it's already part of policy for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. And the initial tranche of utilizing the GSE desktop is for purchases. There are LTV requirements surrounding it as well. But I do believe that you will see more and more of what we've called hybrid appraisals that are coming out. This is a little bit different in that you don't have to have an inspection of the property in the traditional, what we think about a traditional inspection. You do have to have enough data to supply to the appraiser, and you must have a floor plan that you can supply to the appraiser. Floor plan is different than a sketch, and in a couple of slides, I'll explain those differences better. With ample data and with the floor plan, the appraiser can go ahead and complete what is essentially the same 1004 form that you're used to, but simply remove that inspection piece of the process, which can save, 20 to 25% of the overall time on an appraisal product.
Will it be cheaper since it's taking less time too? Or that's not it? We're not there yet to know.
Well, let's go on to the next slide, and I think I can answer that part of the question. Okay. So there's two options kind of available for this. The first option is that the lender could actually supply the credible data and the floor plan. Okay. In that methodology, you will see not only a time savings, but also a bit of a cost savings because we don't have to send anyone out there or use technology to get that floor plan. However, the appraiser has to feel that the data being supplied is accurate and credible, which may or may not, be something the appraiser is willing to, sign off on. It may be, though, that with MLS information and that the appraiser perhaps even did the property a few years ago, the appraiser is comfortable with that. The other option for a lender in this particular product is to hire a property data collector to go and collect the data, including the floor plan, and submit that back to the appraiser. In the second option, now you have someone who is a disinterested party providing that data to the appraiser, and the appraiser has a lot more comfort around the credibility of the data that they're receiving from which to do the valuation. In that process, you're not going to see much of a financial savings on the appraisal costs because we are employing a third-party property data collector, and we are utilizing technology to secure that floor plan that is a bit expensive as well. But you are saving time.
Whose idea was this new appraisal process?
Both Fannie and Freddie have been working for several years. I think you've heard the phrase data and done as part of the hybrid that they were discussing a year and a half or so ago. So I think this is all part of the way to start to bifurcate the process to let our valuation experts, our appraisers, really focus on the valuation piece and using other labor sources to do the inspection piece. And I do believe over the next year and on into the future, you will see more and more bifurcation in the industry.
Okay, got it.
What this slide is to help your viewers understand the difference between a floor plan and a sketch. Now, the sketch on the left-hand side is what you're all used to seeing in an appraisal, but what you will see in a GSE desktop and also in these bifurcated products that you'll see in the future is a floor plan that does have interior walls and gives you significantly more information about the subject property than you may have seen in the past.
Would it be fair to say that newer properties, like you buy a new house, it comes with a floor plan? Is that something like, how do you, let's say I provide a full floor plan, how do you know that it's like certified or whatever?
Yeah. So at Axis, we're partnering with a property data collection company, and they are using software that's loaded onto their phones. And simply they'll take their phone, turn it sideways, answer some questions about the subject property while they're there, take required photos. So it'll require them to take a front photo, a bedroom photo, and all that. And then they'll turn on their video and point their camera towards the baseboards of the home and slowly scan the home with their phone, going through each room from left to right. And that will actually create the floor plan within 10 minutes.
Okay.
So that same technology is available for realtors, for homeowners. We'd like to see it get to the point where homeowners themselves can use this software and supply their floor plan. The software does ensure with geocoding that it's the correct property. That
I was going to say, like, you couldn't go to your neighbor's bigger and better house.
So it would geocode it. So I think you'll see more and more of that option one that we talked about in the future as folks get more used to the new technology and have a higher level of comfort surrounding it.
Do you think this would is going to make will there be a database of stored information for each property now, or it's really still, yes, there will be.
So Fannie and Freddie for years now under UAD have been developing a property database that for each property that is appraised, they maintain the room counts, the quality and condition ratings of those properties, the GLA that was submitted in those appraisals, and moving forward will also be including in that database a copy of the floor plans that are submitted.
Does that help, whenever we get appraisal waivers now, we seem to get them more frequently where, we've refinanced them a couple years ago or whatever, and obviously other considerations, but so that information is already being stored somewhere. So this will just kind of like layer on top of it, so to speak.
Yeah. And I do believe that, with Fannie and Freddie and even lenders who don't sell to Fannie and Freddie, it's all about risk, right? And what your appetite for risk is. And anytime you have more data, you're able to make a better risk assessment.
Got it. I would think that that's a fair statement completely. Okay.
So I just wanted to touch really quickly on this last part of the modernization of appraisal. As rates rise, obviously many homeowners, instead of refinancing their property, are going to look to HELOCs or other ways in which to, maintain the integrity of that low rate that they received in the past, but still need to get some cash out. So at Axis, we've developed several proprietary products that we are selling to our lenders who don't want to pay for a full appraisal. Neither the time nor the expense makes sense if you're looking for a $50,000 HELOC, right? So we have new products available to help our lenders manage risk with products that do bifurcate the process and provide various levels of evaluation depending upon need. So if anyone's interested in learning more about those, we'd be happy to share them with you. But again, it's the idea of what do you really need based upon the risk and the loan amount for that property?